Hey guys, Future Gohan SSJ2 here. And yeah, considering the popularity of my Cartoon Network and Boomerang rants, I decided to do a sequel, a second one. And this is going to be another video where it's just, me, just no script or anything, just me going off the top of my head. But yeah, and I'm gonna put both topics in one video, like Cartoon Network, no separate Boomerang rant, separate Cartoon Network rant this time, just all in one. So make it easier for the viewing pleasure of you, very good subscribers. Anyway, yeah, I'm losing the appeal of these networks again, even though I haven't had it in a while. Yeah, I'm mainly concerned with the way that they're making the way that they have their channels set up. First of all, I think everything is way too scripted. I think everything is so scripted, it's insane. Like, for example, Boomerang, where it's just supposed to be just a random assortment of shows, just a random assortment of old cartoons or whatever. It isn't. Every show comes on at a specific time, and yeah, that's fine if you're interested in watching these shows all chronologically, but in terms of watching it for nostalgic purposes or whatever, it just doesn't feel right. It feels weird, and it feels almost, it doesn't even feel real, the way that everything is just so chronologically in order. Like, for example, Dexter's Laboratory is on right now. It came on at 2 o'clock today, and it's going to come on at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. They alternate with weekends occasionally, but other than that, it's the same schedule all day, every day. And while that's fine if you're interested in watching these episodes chronologically, it loses its interesting factor. Because, for example, and it also makes me miss shows that aren't on for the rest of the time. Okay, because like at like 4 a.m. or like at noon, the Flintstones comes on. Okay, well at 4 a.m. I'm not gonna get up at 4 a.m. to watch the Flintstones, and at noon I'm at school, and those are the only times they show. Those are the only times that they show the Flintstones. So, if I want to watch the Flintstones, I'm gonna have to buy the DVD sets, or wake up at 4 on the weekends or the weekdays in order to watch it. That isn't fair. And don't try to pull the people want to watch chronologically, or chronologically is the only way it can work. That's not how it was done on the old Cartoon Network. Do you guys not remember how randomly things were assorted? 1 hour, an episode of season 2 of Ed, Edd n Eddy would be on, and then next they'd bring just a random episode of Dragon Ball GT, and then a random episode of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and like I remember, like back to back they would have like a season 4 episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy, and then they'd have like a season 2 or season 1 episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy back to back. They were always just completely random, and that's the thing. That's what makes it more interesting. See, don't be so scripted. Scripted is boring. It's this show on again, just like it was yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. Do you guys not remember, back before all we had to do was just push a guide button and it told it what was coming on next? Do you guys not remember, in fact, this was actually very big for me, because, again, my majority of Cartoon Network watching when I was a kid was whenever we'd go on vacation and we'd check into a hotel. They didn't have the fancy schmancy television push-a-button guides, okay? In fact, we were lucky if they had Cartoon Network at all. But in order to find out what was coming on next, I had to wait throughout the commercials just to see what was coming on next. It's not, look, it's 2:30, that means this show is coming on. See, that's boring. I can't tell you how excited I was all the time, just like, come on, commercials, come on, get over, I want to see what's coming up next. And then if it was something I was really excited for, I'm like, oh yes, this is coming up next, I love this show, or something like that. But if it was something I didn't like, I'm like, oh, this was coming up next, oh well, I'll change the channel, or I'll just sit through it. You know, it's just the random assortment. It just helps make things interesting. Sometimes you get something that you weren't expecting. Sometimes you get something that, you know, well, you weren't expecting in the negative sense. And I'm not saying you should get rid of TV guides, because first of all, that's never going to happen, and second of all, they're just way too convenient, and they're pretty much needed. Because if you see something's coming on at like 7, you know, you'd want to make sure to make time for that. But you know, it's whatever. But you guys understand what I mean. With the randomizer, it's just, you know, you never know what's coming on next. Well, unless you have a TV guide. You know, it's just right, and it won't be restricted to having certain dates. Like I said with the Flintstones, it won't be on at just 4:30. It won't be on at just noon. It'll be on whenever they decide is the right time to put it on for that specific day. I mean, for goodness sakes, guys, have fun at work. Put all these shows up on a dartboard. Get yourself some darts and have an hour of fun. Just saying, oh, just, you know, write a little piece of paper and stick it on one of the darts that says 4:30, and then up there you got all the shows over there. Just like, one of the show's gonna get 4:30. You close your eyes and you just throw it, and you be like, all right, Flintstones, you know, 2:30, or, you know, whatever. You know, it's just help make things more interesting. You know, and same thing with Cartoon Network. They're just as bad. Like, freaking, my God. In fact, I think they're even worse. Johnny Test. Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time, Looney Tunes. They have so many things, so many of the same things back to back. Why? You guys are limiting yourselves so much that way. And Cartoon Network, just because shows such as Dexter's Lab or Powerpuff Girls, just because they're old, doesn't mean you shouldn't air them. I mean, again, what's wrong with having Dexter's Lab on for this time and then transitioning to Gumball or Adventure Time? What's wrong with that? There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. There really shouldn't, because it should just flow naturally, and it should just be random. It should just be a whole assortment of shows, just like the Cartoon Network City era was. You know, it just like all these shows coming together. You know, because you don't want these shows to feel excluded. Well, these shows can't feel. What am I talking about? But you guys know what I'm saying. You don't want the shows to be excluded. You don't want certain shows to be excluded and more shows to be included. Just let it be all random. For example, there could be 2 back-to-back episodes of a certain show. That's fine. But seriously, 2 back-to-back episodes of every single show? You guys have 2 back-to-back episodes of Johnny Test, 2 back-to-back episodes of Regular Show, 2 back-to-back episodes of Adventure Time. It's boring. For goodness sakes, take out each one of those episodes. Make it just one episode of those, and you would have so much room to air half an hour of Ed, Edd n Eddy, half an hour of Powerpuff Girls, half an hour of Dexter's Lab. Come on. I'm just asking you guys to be a little bit more... just a little bit more assorted, a little less organized. And this is coming from a guy who organizes everything. So I'm just asking, you guys just have fun with it. Don't script everything. Just have fun. Seriously guys, just take all these shows, put them in a blender, push the on button, and just let it go. You guys don't have to be so scripted with this. Okay? And yeah, it also needs to be more nostalgic, I think. I just think it needs to just, because they know the basis of their channel specifically is, well, nostalgia. That's a big part of their, because they've been around since 1992. If they want to make some big money, they need to try and feed off of this nostalgia. Look what Adult Swim did with Toonami. Look what Adult Swim did with Dexter's Lab and the Rude Removal episode. Look what they did, Cartoon Network. Look at the amount of views and popularity and tweet and Twitter bombs that's happening just because of this. Just try. Stuart Snyder, I know you've got to stick up your butt and you don't want to do what your fans tell you to do, but just try it. stick your foot inside the pool. It might not be cold. I'm just gonna tell you that. It might not be as cold as you think. Let's see. Boomerang. Something I wanted to talk about with Boomerang, is the bumpers. I know. No, I'm not saying scrap the bumpers, put new bumpers. No, I'm not saying get rid of anything. I'm not saying to get rid of anything. But what I'm asking them to do is to add more things. I mean, for goodness sakes, how many times have we seen the Magilla Gorilla Groovy? How many times have we seen that Hong Kong Phooey Top Cat bounce around intros? You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm not. I'm just saying to add more. What about the Ed Netty Groovies? The Powerpuff Girls Groovies? What about the Mojo Jojo one? Go Monkey Go, Mojo Jojo. Just have more of that. Just have a whole bunch of it. Just have fun with it. Just you don't have to have the same things at the same specific time and this and that. Just come on. See how you can kind of see how this is boring. It's, again, I know they're supposed to be the same old shows, but it doesn't have to be boring. Even if they were newer shows, having the same shows on at the same time every single day, them going in exact chronological order of the episodes, see how that can get boring? Old shows don't have to be boring. They're only boring if you script them and make them air at specific times on specific days, the specific episode. You see what I'm talking about? Just put them all in a blender and just hit the random button. Just place them wherever they land. Throw them all up into the air and put them wherever they land. It's not that difficult. But yeah, I really think it needs more groovies, more older bumpers. Again, not to get rid of them, not to get rid of the older ones, I mean. The ones that are still on there, they can still be on there, but just spread them out a little bit. Spread them out a little more, and add in some newer ones. Or some newer, older ones, if that makes any sense. Oh, another thing. Cartoon Network needs a rebrand. I know that the one they have now is actually fairly recent, but they need a new one. I am getting sick and tired of the Check It one. Well, actually, what am I saying? The Check It one's been around since, 2010? It's been 3 years, and they used to have a rebrand like every 2 or so years. I think it's about time, don't you? I'm getting so sick and tired of the Check It. I didn't like it when it aired. I didn't like it months after that. I didn't like it years after that, and I still don't like it now. I think they're trying too hard. Just when I look at it, I think they're trying too hard to be hip, cool, with it in the crowd. Just, hey, check it. Yeah, you guys are 20 years too late. You're still stuck in the 80s. Just Cartoon Network, stop trying to do that. I really don't understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to reach out to the now crowd, the hip kids, where check it and stuff like that. No, stop. You never did that in 1999, 1992. You never did that, ever. Why are you doing it now? You don't need to do that. You are Cartoon Network, period. Nothing you do is going to change that unless you keep doing that live action stuff, which I'm going to get onto that in a minute. But you guys don't need to try to change yourselves. You guys don't need to try to cater to a specific audience. You guys are Cartoon Network, period. You guys, with your name alone, you're already attracting a specific audience. With the shows that you air, you're already attracting a specific audience. Yeah. And by the way, the shows you air now besides things like Adventure Time, you're really not going that in depth with demographics. You're really not. You are, well, because Adventure Time goes to, like, I think almost every demographic. It goes to the male, it goes to the female, it goes to the kids, it goes to the teens, it goes to the adults. It really goes all over the place. I'm not particularly a big fan of it, but I will admit to when a show is popular and to when a show caters to a specific audience. But yeah, other than shows like that, you guys are really kind of one-siding this audience thing. Shows like Powerpuff Girls, was it a girls' show? That's debatable, I think. It was made by a man, ladies and gentlemen. It was made by a man. People just categorize it as a girls' show because it starred girls as the main character, which, that's stupid. And sexist if you honestly think that. That is stupid and that is sexist if you think that just because the show stars females as their main character, the show is meant for females. That is stupid. Again, because the show creator was a man. The person who created that show was a man. So I really don't understand where people are like, oh, it's a girls' show. I really don't understand where that's coming from. Yeah, shows like that, they catered to everyone. There were a few shows that didn't really cater to everyone. Ed, Edd n Eddy seemed to cater to everyone as far as I know, though, it really didn't seem like it. Because Ed, Edd n Eddy, you know, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it would cater to females or whatever, but it did. It did have a bunch of female characters in it. And it did have Sarah and Jimmy specifically, who were very female-ish demographic, I suppose. But yeah, yeah, there were a bunch of shows back then that really did cater to pretty much everyone of every demographic. So I really don't understand why they're only catering to one. They're really only catering, like, shows like Regular Show is catering to male teens. Shows like Gumball are catering to children. Gumball, you could, as an adult or a teenager, yeah, you can watch it and you can enjoy it, but that it was meant for well, I won't say that because every old show on Cartoon Network is meant for little kids. But you guys understand what I mean? What I mean is the humor, the jokes, everything of that sort are specifically made for children. It's not like Powerpuff Girls or things of that sort where they would throw in some things that even the adults could enjoy when they're watching it with their kids. It's just pure children made shows, you know. I don't know. Adventure Time, for example, is a show honestly I think should only be watched by teenagers because it does have some mild stuff in there, but I mean, I guess it could be watched by kids as well. But you know, again, other than Adventure Time and maybe Looney Tunes show, because that caters to both children and adults, maybe even females. I mean, come on, you're just supposed to tell me Johnny Test caters to adults. Are you supposed to tell me that The Incredible Crew caters to adults? The first episode is titled Farting Grandpa. Who do you think this is freaking made for? Get out of here. Okay. Oh, Lord. I might as well begin to talk about my next topic now that I'm on it anyway. Cartoon Network. Stuart Snyder, you specifically. What is up with you? You all know full well No one gives a crap about your live action stuff, and no one likes it, and no one wants you to keep making it, but you keep making it. Why? I don't understand the logic in that. No one likes our live action shows. Everyone's telling us we should stop making live action shows. Let's keep making more live action shows. It's like, are you serious? Are you that dense? Are you that stupid? And guys, it's not like they don't know. They know full well exactly what people think about their programming, about their shows, about everything. They know. Stuart Snyder specifically knows. He just doesn't care. That, or he's just extremely stupid. Or he's continuing to produce these live-action shows, hoping that maybe they'll like one. But let me tell you, if you would stop making... Seriously, they're either like this over-serious, stuff like Unnatural History, or that college series, or there's some stupid crap like Level Up and Incredible Crew. And guys, I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't mind Out of Jimmy's Head. I really didn't. In a sense, it almost felt cartoony, because there was cartoons in it, was there not? And Cartoon Network has, I believe, aired live-action movies and things in the past, such as Roger Rabbit, that had... I mean, come on, if Roger Rabbit can be allowed on Cartoon Network with no fuss, Out of Jimmy's Head can't? It's a live-action show. Then again, Roger Rabbit's a live-action movie. They both have animation tendencies in them. I'm not saying by any means that Out of Jimmy's Head was good, or should have been made in the first place. I'm just saying it's not that bad, and was probably the best out of all the live-action series that they've made. And again, saying it is the best out of all the live-action series they've made does not mean it's good. It's just the best one that they've made thus far. You know, it's... I really don't even know. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. DC Nation. Yeah, guys, you really have to work on this block. It's just nothing. It's just, I hate to say that, but it really is. It's just nothing. You have Green Lantern and Young Justice for an actual block. It's only an hour long. That's not enough. That's really not enough. You know, it's just... I know Hub has the rights to Batman the Animated Series, and Superman the Animated Series, and Batman Beyond. But you guys really need to figure out something. 2 shows, that is pathetic. You guys could get Justice League. Yes, Vortex has bought the rights for Justice League. But according to the people of the interwebs, if Vortex is only a basic cable whatever, while Cartoon Network is an extreme cable, so they can both buy the rights as long as they're not a part of the same central cable. Even though that doesn't really make much sense, but whatever. Fine, we'll use their logic for now. Yeah, then they could put Justice League, they could put... I mean, come on, how about a movie? You guys like catering to the teen audience? Air Superman Doomsday, Batman Gotham Knight, Batman Year One, All-Star Superman. These things that have PG-13 ratings. You guys want to cater to the teen audience, then fine. If you guys can say crap and stuff like that in your, and heck, they've freaking said, they've had middle fingers and stuff like that in Mad and stuff like that all the time. There's no excuse why they couldn't air something like Superman Doomsday or Batman Year One, or with some slight edits, of course, but, you know, do something with that block. It's literally nothing. It's just 2 shows, and that's it. And to be honest, not that many people care for Green Lantern. I like it myself, personally. But pretty much the only reason for DC Nation is Young Justice. And so if you really want to narrow it down to the people to the shows most people actually care about, which is one, you have an entire block for one show. You guys really need to do something with that block. I don't know what, but you guys just need to do something. Boomerang needs more old shows. Boomerang, they just do. They need, Cartoon Network, if you guys aren't, stop putting your failed shows on there, and put shows that deserve to be on there. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Ed, Nettie, Sheep in the Big City. That would be a great pick, by the way. Time Squad. Come on, you have infinite number of possibilities of shows you could put on there, and yet you put on Secret Saturdays, and are you guys seriously putting on Ben 10 Omniverse? Why? That show just came out. It's brand new to your channel, and you guys are already putting it on Boomerang. It doesn't even make any sense. Why is it there? It shouldn't be. I don't understand the logic in that. I really don't understand the logic in that at all. But hey, Foster's made its way over here. Come on, how about Time Squad? Or come on, that's a show I haven't seen in years. Sheep in the Big City, you know. Again, be more creative with this. And a Boomerang, they need some sort of attraction. And yes, the entire thing about them airing older programming is supposed to be the attraction. It needs something else. How about you bring the Cartoon Network Top 5 to Boomerang? That was always interesting. I could never see that on Cartoon Network, nor would I ever want that on Cartoon Network, because it would be filled with Adventure Time and regular show episodes. Not that I have anything wrong with that, but I feel it would need to be more solid. And those would always get top picks anyway, so... Yeah, I think it should be on Boomerang, top 5. Because, really, honestly, they just got rid of Boomer Royalty in recent months. In fact, I think the last Boomer Royalty was Huckleberry Hound. Yeah, I really don't understand why they got rid of basically every single block they had. In fact, the only block that's left, I believe, is Boomer Action. And to be honest, airing action shows, you don't really need a block for it. You really don't. But you know, that's it. Boomer Action, and that comes on. I think it comes on at 5. I think that's when it starts. It's 5 o'clock. But I just don't understand why they can't put more blocks on there. And I think a top 5 would be great. Somewhere around noon, maybe. Yeah, that's terrible for me, even though I said that I can't even watch it. But that's what I believe that's when it was on the old Cartoon Network. It was noon, maybe 11. Well, for us, it was probably 11. Though I believe it was noonish. I think that's a great time. I don't think it should be 8. I don't think it should be too early in the morning, and I definitely don't think it should be too late in the afternoon. Definitely not. I think noon is probably the prime perfect time to have something like that. And speaking of things of that sort, something I have been wanting back ever since it left. Cartoon Network needs to have all-nighters again. Specifically Friday nights. Oh my god. You guys really don't understand how much I loved staying up until at least midnight, 1 a.m. watching Cartoon Network on Friday. It was one of the best things in the world. It really was. It just was awesome. Just these shows. I can't tell you how many premieres I saw. I've seen the premiere of the Bendy episode of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I saw the premiere episode of the My Gym Partner's a Monkey episode where they stayed up all night. They did that all-nighter when Adam needed to get up really early in the morning to get to do that paintball thing with that girl he liked. But which, by the way, that episode of My Gym Partner's a Monkey is my all-time favorite episode of My Gym Partner's a Monkey. I love everything about that episode. mostly because it reminds me of my childhood. But anyway, yeah, I really just want it back. And Adult Swim, you can have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Just give us Friday. Come on, just Friday is all I'm asking for. Just an all-nighter on Friday. Your guys' schedule sucks on Friday anyway. So, you guys should just just give Cartoon Network the entire block on Friday. You guys don't really have any specials going on, I don't think, because I think most of Adult Swim's premieres are on Sundays and Thursdays. I don't think that they have any. At least I don't think they have any premieres on Friday, as far as I know. Oh, and Mondays too. They have premieres on Mondays, but I really don't think that they have any premieres on Fridays. If they do, come on, just move them. Just give Cartoon Network something. You guys are Adult Swim is taking up so much of Cartoon Network's space. Like, I remember when they first took over Fridays, it was like, I think it started at 10, and then they moved it back to 9, and then they moved it back again to 8. It's like, you guys are slowly taking over Cartoon Network. They already have such little time to air anything. Which, again, that goes back to what I was saying. Cartoon Network, you need to stop airing two of the same shows, back to back, and just separate yourself. You don't need an hour of a specific program. And again, and on, something something I've been really wanting to rant about for a while about Cartoon Network. They need more specific dates. Okay, for example, just, and I'm talking about certain topics of dates. Like, and I'm like, you know how during Christmas they'll have Christmas specials, or during Halloween they'll have Halloween specials. Which, by the way, the Christmas special last year, freaking awful. I didn't see Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends Lost Claws even once. I thought that was terrible. Yeah, it was just awful. Yeah, they need more things like that. Like, to be honest, I think First Day of Summer, this is just an example. First Day of Summer, have a marathon of summer themed episodes. For example, the episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, where Kevin, like, they stay up all night. I think they stay up all night. They do an all-nighter, trying to stay up early for the beach. But then they end up running late. They end up oversleeping, so they have to, rush to the beach. And then when they get there, Kevin's stolen their spot. So what they have to do is they climb all the way up this mountain, and they stay at this rock. They're like on top of this rock, like right in the sun's direct rays, and they're just freaking staring at Kevin for hours, just waiting for him to move. And then when everyone leaves, by the time he finally moves, it's time for everyone to leave anyway. So everyone's leaving, and when they finally, they're like, yes, our spot's free, they're all sunburned and things of that nature. I think that's a great episode to air. Another one would be the Powerpuff Girls episode, where the Powerpuff Girls get sunburned, where they're trying to go fight crime and they're all sunburned. You guys get the idea. Certain themed episodes like that, or First Day of School, have a whole bunch of school-themed episodes throughout the day. And if Cartoon Network did get an all-night Fridays back, on the very first night of its return, air all sleepover-themed episodes. For example, that My Gym Partner's a Monkey episode I was telling you about. There's so many different things you could do with that. So many, just, you could be so creative. And speaking of Fridays, the thing I want back, one of the most, and something that I think would bring in a lot of views, a lot of excitement for your channel, Cartoon Network. Cartoon Fridays. While I did really love the Cartoon Network Fridays from, I believe it started in 2004, with Tommy and Tara. I did love that, and if you could get them back, I think that'd be pretty awesome. But if you can't, then how about having a whole Friday night where Gumball hosts, or Finn or Jake from Adventure Time host, Mordecai from, you guys get what I'm talking about. And then Friday is where they would air new episodes. I'm not sure what the day is now for Cartoon Network. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Just move all new episodes and stuff like that to Friday. And even if there isn't any new episodes, just have Cartoon Fridays and just air stuff. It really doesn't matter. Just air a whole bunch of stuff. And again, have Ed, and Eddie host and say, hey guys, regular show is coming up next, or Adventure Time, That would be freaking awesome. And just team that up with the Cartoon Network City era theme, if they could get that back. I mean, come on, Cartoon Network, have you seen how many people love your theater bumpers now that you have, where it's got Mordecai and Rigby, and then Finn and Jake from Adventure Time just sitting there in the movie theater eating popcorn? Do you know how many people just love that alone, just because it reminds them so much of the City era? So much of the classic Cartoon Network? See what I'm talking about? When you guys could just feed off of people's nostalgia if you just would do it right? I mean, it's really simple, guys. But yeah, this has been a long video. And I think that I covered everything I wanted to. Oh, I am going to ask you guys the comment question of the day that I came up with a couple days ago. What is your most nostalgic food? And by nostalgic food, that's a really tough one to explain. But just when you're eating it, or what you used to eat a lot when you did a specific thing. Like, for example, my favorite nostalgic food is pizza, because as a kid, we would always do the movie thing. Would go to Hollywood or Blockbuster, pick up a movie, pick up a pizza, go home, enjoy the movie with pizza. I always loved that. Since my Blockbuster's closed down, I can't really do that anymore, but I can always buy the DVDs or the VHS tapes or whatever have you, and just enjoy, with a pizza. I honestly find that to be very nostalgic, very, very nostalgic. So, what are some of your very nostalgic foods? Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Everything to make sure your hot, delicious, custom-made pizza is delivered to your door in less than 30 minutes. Domino's Pizza delivers.
Right where you want it to be. Domino's Pizza delivers. One call